Nigerian Mr. Jacob Ajamu tells Adiel Balogun of Punch newspapers how he was tortured by American immigration officers and how a chip was inserted in his body. Did you enter America with valid papers? I entered the United States with a valid passport and a valid visa. I was invited by a church, Mountain of Peace C&S Church, Washington, for a musical workshop, and it lasted for 3 months. 6 of us went on the trip, and after the workshop, the visa expired after 6 months and I didn't know anything about the immigration stuff in America. I didn't know I would need Social Security and other papers. I lost my status, and that was the beginning of my problem in America. But it was reported that you entered the United States with forged papers. No, that is not true. I entered America first with valid papers. I was given the visa on March 13 and I left Nigeria on April 11 and got to America on April 12, 1997. I want them to check the record. I got there legally with a visiting visa, but it got expired after 6 months. The church promised to help. They got an immigration lawyer for me, but the filing wasn't approved and I ran out of status. I borrowed money to go to America and I had to work to be able to pay back. I stayed back until I got a job. I got the Social Security, but I didn't have green card. Throughout my stay in America, I was working with my Social Security number. I never used any other person's or any other thing except the time I came to Nigeria in 2001, and I am not going to lie about that. I got a call from home that my dad was sick and I didn't know how to get to Nigeria, and I am the first son. Remember I told you that I had lost my status since. A brother that I brought in to live with me in my first house in America suggested that I could use his information to travel home, which I did successfully without any problem. Everything was done perfectly. I submitted my valid passport and the immigration people saw everything. I got back to America without any problem. But what you did was not legal. Yes, it was not legal, and that was the mistake of my life. That mistake has turned into a ministry now because I keep telling people, if for any reason you have to travel, make sure your stay is as directed by your visa. I paid for that mistake because it was the same brother that reported me to the authorities when I got my own green card. The second time I came to Nigeria, I came with my own green card. Even that time that I used his passport, I was not arrested, and he was the same person that took me to the airport and called my mom that I was safely back. My dad did not die until 7 years after, and by that time, I already had my green card. Before I got back to America, this guy had reported me to the immigration. His name is Emmanuel Adekunbo Adegoke. When people asked him why he did that, he said he didn't know what pushed him and that he never knew the implication. This is somebody I brought to my house, and he lived with me for 5 years. I supported him to go to the best university, and when he finished, he got a good job, and after he left, he thought that's how he could pay me back. Immigration didn't know anything about what we did. It was not that they were that smart, but it was Adekunbo that reported me. I don't know what he told them, but they were waiting for me to return, and they promptly arrested me even when I had traveled with valid papers. Since I was traveling with valid documents, the best they could have done was to charge me to court, not arrest me. They asked me to tell them what I knew of Emmanuel Adegoke's passport, but I insisted on speaking with my lawyer first. I wasn't going to lie, but I needed legal advice. So what then happened?